Can you start? No, I guess I should start. Aloha, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Phoenix Friday. I'm trying to imitate JANEEL, who is normally the host of this very special show. I don't know how to imitate you because who can imitate you, Neil? No one can. No one can. But, you
Hi,
know,
Rose.
no one can fit this position. No one can be you, no one can be like you. But, you know, I think you have been in so many interviews, but this is a special show, and it's not nice to not have you as a guest of this very special show. So I wanted you to be on this show, especially today, because today, actually yesterday night, but we can celebrate it today. You launched your website, right?
Yes, I did.
You did. So it's a very special day, and I'm very excited to have you on your own show. And it's a very special experience for me because it's the first time ever I will be a host of a show, and maybe the last time because it's not my thing.
What? You're doing great. You're doing great.
I'm doing good. Okay,
You,
so
yes.
I will try to put myself in the shoes of Neil and remember what does Neil say. So, first of all, I'm Nick with my angel, and my guest is Neil from
Neil
JANEEL
Molokai Mystic.
JANEEL HEW Molokai Mystic. I am sure you all know her, but if you don't, I will read her bio because, yeah, I am sure you know a lot about her, but you don't know everything. And even her bio is not everything because, trust me, I know a lot of stuff that you might not know already. And there is a lot that I still don't know. And that even she doesn't know, and we're discovering together. So bear with me and listen. So, JANEEL HEW, Molokai Mystic, is a cosmic activator, an energy healer, Reiki master, enlightenment mentor, inner child alchemist, and invoking the Archangel Instructor, certified soul coaching oracle card reader, certified intuitive angel card reader, an artist, poet, a near death experience survivor, and an inspiring author. She helps awaken in you your highest purpose and align you on the right path. Using a combination of both studied and channeled modalities in her writing, sessions, classes, and mentoring, she meets you where you are with love and acceptance to assist you in your journey of self-empowerment and enlightenment, igniting your ability to follow the compass of your heart. So that's your bio, Neil.
Oh, now what?
And now what? Yeah, I mean, this is less than what you do and what you are. I know much more than that. And I know much more than that that you are maybe not ready to say in your bio, but that I know will come out in your book soon. So,
Book.
my first question will be to tell us a little bit about the book you are writing.
Hi,
So,
everyone. Yeah. Let's see. I'm very excited about the book. I'm also, you know, the book is going to be the book. I've written before, and then there's always the book before the book type of thing. And I've always written for myself. But in this aspect, I am writing a book that is going to be out there in the world, and so it's a little like walking around naked. You know, it makes you feel very vulnerable because to me, I respect books so much. As you can see, I have books behind me. They support me. All my life, I've always been uh, in the library. The library always makes me feel safe. That in church, and but those two kind of go hand in hand. And I mention that because there is a story in the book where I am in the library, and the book that I was drawn to, unbeknownst to me at the time, was ended up being the Bible. And this is where I experienced remembering my innate ability to pick up energy um, from images. And this was at 2. So I didn't know it was a Bible. I just knew that it was.
An image book.
Yeah, it had beautiful images, and I was hungry for it. So for me, the library and church, and I know people, not too many people are going to say that those two go hand in hand, but for me, because being in the library and experiencing such a spiritual experience, they do go hand in hand for me. And so when I think of books and me putting a book out there, because I have so much respect for the authors in books, they're putting their energy, they're putting their words, they're putting so that's what I'm doing right now. And it's a combination book to not only support your spiritual journey, but it contains steps to help support it. In addition to that, there's channeled messages and then a sharing of life experiences that support those channeled messages and the treasure hunt to find your deeper purpose in life, and how everything from what we've experienced in our life that we thought was just life happening was actually our soul preparing us to embrace the power of our now. And
Absolutely. I love that. Um, there is a traditional question for this show that normal host that yeah, it's just reminding me of the question of the show. So there is a traditional question for the show: what ignited the phoenix in you, and how do you now help others to ignite the phoenix in themselves? And after you answer this question, I have plenty other questions for you. So what ignited the phoenix in you, Janine?
um, that's a good question. I mean, I know this is a standard question I ask all of my guests. For those of you who are watching this show for the first time, I'm actually normally the host. I am the creator of the show, and I created this show in regards to the phoenix in themselves, and are now supporting others in doing that same thing for themselves. And what people don't understand is, or that I would like to share, and maybe people do understand this, is that for me, igniting the phoenix is, it's like life. It's a cycle, you know? We're always, it's the birth, death, and rebirth. It's coming from the ashes and taking flight. It's turning, it's turning our trials into triumphs. And so for me to say what ignited the phoenix in me, I think life happening ignited the phoenix in me. And it's an ongoing process for me. Um, Constantly evolving, constantly expanding, constantly growing in my connection to the infinite more, because there is infinitely more to connect to. So, and how do I use that? How do I use who I am and the gifts that I have to ignite others? Well, that's a Pandora's box. Um, I I meet them where they're at, and I meet them in my authentic truth. And however they need supporting, um, that's what I tap into. in the moment, in the moment. I have a lot of uh, sessions that I can offer, but I think the biggest one, and not a lot of people know this, is the enlightenment mentoring. Because I think that what I usually do, I don't really advertise the mentoring aspect of me because I know when the person is ready to be mentored is when they seek me out more. It's, and you're muted.
That's the question I was going to ask now. I was going to say, do you feel like some people are um, like candidates to be mentored by you and some are not? Or everyone is welcome?
I believe, I would like to say everyone is welcome. Yes, everyone is welcome. But I feel it's very important that you resonate with your mentor. So, someone that is a very, then they would resonate with someone who's a lower vibration energy because this is this phase in their life. It's not that it's good or bad, it's that their energy is ready to be receptive to that energy. And when they are ready and outgrow this energy, then they move up to another energy. So for me, it's not about everyone is meant to be mentored by me, but you'll know when you are ready. You'll know, I will know. Um, Sometimes I will get a no, you
Okay.
know. So I believe the most important thing is when you are seeking out a mentor
So
that
if
you
someone
really
comes to
resonate.
you, oh, sorry, I interrupted you. So if someone comes to you and say, I would like to be mentored by you, and you feel a no and get a no, do you say no?
I will say no.
You say,
I'm because it's for their highest good. It's in my integrity, and but I won't leave them hanging.
okay,
I will say I don't feel like we're an energetic match, and I would refer them to someone else. I will not hesitate to refer someone to someone else if it is for their highest good.
absolutely. I
If
love
my guides are saying, okay, this energy is a potential for you, then what I would say is let's have some sessions. Let's have some sessions and we'll see how this energy connection flows. Because if you're not an energetic match for someone who's mentoring you, you're not going to be able to retain what they're giving you. You see, so it's for their highest good.
thank
You
you.
know? And this is why I like to start off with regular sessions, whether it's a healing session or it's a reading session. Um, this way, you're playing in their energy and you know where they're at and you get a feel for what they need.
Yeah. We have a question here from Gail. What inspires you to continue to shine your light?
If I don't shine, I'm dead. It is my life force. It is what I'm called to do. It is why I came back from having my near death experience. Um, if I don't shine, I do have the choice. I have the choice to say no. Everybody has the choice, right? But when we say no to our guides, and I do argue with them, mind you, but when we say no to the guidance of the divine, what we're actually doing is we're taking a little rougher path. So what inspires me to shine is knowing that it is the right path for me. And if I do say, you know what, I'm not ready right now, I go through the rocky path. And then eventually I turn back and I go back into alignment. When we're not shining our truth, we don't feel in alignment. And when we don't feel in alignment, we will notice it because we're not happy. We're not in that energy of joy in our life. So if I want to be happy, Gail, I'm going to have to keep shining. So thank you for the question.
You have so many feedback from people you have already helped, Neil. You have Linda here. She said you taught her to forgive and love. You have Janet who had a session with you.
Oh, Janet.
Shelley, and Gabby is asking you a question too. Before I go to my questions,
How do you manifest things you want? Well, you have to use a combination and a collaboration. And the combination is not just what our mind thinks we want. When we tap into our heart space. And when you tap into your heart space and you allow yourself to feel what is for your highest good and what you're trying to manifest, and you allow that feeling to become a reality, then your mind says, ah, this feels right. If it doesn't feel right, it ain't right. Okay, then you put those two together and you collaborate with your higher self, because up in the higher realms, everything is possible. It's here in the physical that our mind starts thinking that, maybe I can't, or maybe this is too hard. But when it feels right in your heart, and your heart introduces that feeling to your mind and reassures your mind that it's safe, then it can become real. Then you call in your team and your higher self, and you go up in that realm of infinite more, and you experience the feeling of it being received. And then when you have it in your hands up in the higher realms, you bring that energy into your physical. And then you trust. You walk in trust and know with the universe has your back. But first, you have to feel your yes. Everything you put into it has to be in the energy of yes, this feels right. And then whoever receives it, if I'm making a cake, I'm putting all of that love into that cake. And then whoever receives that cake is going to feel it. Janet made these. And if you guys are interested in these, Molokai Mystic bracelets by Janet Baumgartner. And she's going to name them after me. So I'm very honored. This is what she made during my birthday Zoom gathering, where everybody came. And the energy of everyone in the group, all of that love and light, all of her love and intentions were put into this. And then she had Linda bring in the extra energy of the Reiki and the shamanic healing and infused it in this. So all of this put into this bracelet. It manifested the energy that she wanted me to receive. And let me tell you guys, I received it. I can feel it, and I know that it was done with this energy. She didn't even have to tell me all of that, and I could still feel it. So when we're manifesting something in our path, in our journey, or something physical, intention, intention, intention. Feel it to reel it.
perfect. I have some weird questions that that came to my mind like yesterday as I was waiting, and
As you are waiting, you're not going to go into the whole story. Huh?
no, I won't go into the whole story, but I was thinking if you could be an animal,
Hmm.
think of the whole animal kingdom, and if you could choose to be one animal,
Just
which
one
just one, which one you would be and why?
dolphin.
Dolphin. Why?
Because the dolphin's brain is both in the now and in the dream state. And so when the dolphin's intuition is very strong. and the dolphins' signals can reach far and wide. And so, and they're happy. Come on, who doesn't love a dolphin? You know. So, um, because of the divine connection that the dolphins have, and because of their high energy of love and light, and I'm a water baby. I love water. So I would be a dolphin. I'd jump right on that. I've already been a mermaid, so I'll be a dolphin.
I you read my mind because 2 days ago I was on a video chat with you and I was looking at you and I saw you as a mermaid. How can you explain that?
Telepathy. No, okay. The
No,
mer-
really.
the mermaid aspect, because I was a mermaid and I was actually working with dolphins in on the planet of Syrian. And so there is that mermaid aspect of me. So you were just seeing another aspect of me.
Wow, that was cool actually because I closed my eyes, opened them again, and you were still a mermaid. And closing my eyes, opening again, you were still a mermaid. Like,
And you were so funny because you said you're cute as a mermaid. Okay, so does that mean I'm ugly as a human? Okay, thank you.
one other of my weird question. Apart from Jesus and Virgin Mary, if you were to live the life as one of the masters, the spirit guides,
Hmm.
whose life would you choose to live and why?
Oh, good question. Um, hmm. I think. See, I'm torn between Merlin and Kuan Yin. Yeah, it's kind of um, but I think I would have to go with Kuan Yin. And Kuan Yin, and because I embody the idea that everything is about love. The root to everything is love. Self love, love for others, love of the universe, love of everything. And so I think I would go with Kuan Yin.
Okay. Can you tell us like what I mean, I understand the love aspect of Kuan Yin, but what what do you love most about her? Like, is there anything particular you resonate
Yeah,
with her?
because the last time I
Like, how
channeled
did
her,
you meet her? Like, how did you get to know her?
she came through with putting me in my place. And anybody who can put me in my place, I gotta respect. So she came in and she was like, you say no stress, just love and light. That's, you know, ease and grace, just love and light. And then she said, listen to your words, listen to your wisdom. And she really got me thinking because this is in with the whole, which got my attention was she came in with the whole we're all connected, divine oneness, the whole love thing. And okay, so I'm listening, and then turns it and flips it on me. So she knew how to get me,
Yeah,
and she put me on my place. And like I said, anybody who can do that, I gotta respect. So
makes sense. And if I am to ask you now, like, what is one thing you dislike about yourself and one thing you love most about yourself?
um, I dislike the fact that I still all these years of knowing my connection, I still feel like there are moments of doubt in my physical ability to accomplish something. Um, and that frustrates me because it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me to doubt. I know better. I know my connection. I trust it with every aspect of my spiritual being. So, what's holding my physical? You know, it doesn't make sense to doubt my physical when I have such a divine connection, So, that part of me frustrates me. I don't say dislike or hate. I really don't like those words. But it does frustrate me when I have those moments of, but I think everybody does, you know. Um, and what I love the most about myself, always going to be the same answer. Always going to be the same answer.
My connection.
I love my connection. I love the divine essence that I know that I am inside. I know this aspect of me, and it is the best aspect of me, and it is of every person I see. When I see someone, I see that divine being inside them. I don't see that physical aspect, and um, I love that. I love that I have that connection. I love that divine light within me, and I love seeing that in other people. So,
So I understand that, and I totally agree because I'm like that. Like when I meet someone, when I see someone, whoever that is, I see the divine in them. And that is what attracts me to the people. Then,
but I don't remember faces. That's
yeah,
my problem. I don't
exactly.
remember who the
I
people.
remember the expression of the eyes,
Yes,
though. I
I
remember the eyes and the essence of the person, but that's what I remember.
yeah. I'd
And
like to have my mom's tell. My mom had a photographic memory, second, and then go back and sketch them. Detailed sketches. She was an artist for the police, so um, so I wish I had that. If I could wish an ability to come through was the photographic memory, but then I at the same time it's like maybe we don't always want to remember what we see. So
that night, you, as like because we were talking about what we like most or dislike. I know you said you don't like this word, but like humans as like when we live in the human body, we have the ego
Mhm.
works sometimes in weird ways, and we have good aspects of us and sometimes less good side, let's say. So what is some characteristics, or if you were to name the one characteristic that some human can have, that you that kind of pushes you away from someone
Lying.
lying?
If
Why?
if you lie to me, that is the fastest way. And don't think I don't know, because I'll know. You know, that is the fastest way for me to step aside. And maybe you're not in a spot where you feel comfortable speaking the truth yet. But for me, I don't care what it is or how bad you think it is. As long as you tell me the truth, there's a lesson that can be learned. If you're going to tell me a lie, then you're in denial and not ready to grow. If you're not ready to grow, then you're not in my energy. Um, when you are, You want to come back to me? It's not that I won't accept, like, okay, I'm ready to tell you the truth. It doesn't mean I'm not going to have healthy boundaries, but lying to me is the fastest way for me to step out of your life.
Wow.
I have very strong boundaries when it comes to that. Um, there's no reason for lies, you know. I live in the energy of truth. I don't care how terrible you think something is, as long as you speak the truth, we can work it out. There is a lesson behind it. But if you're not in the energy, not if you're not able to speak the truth and you feel like you need to deceive, you're deceiving yourself, you know. You're not ready to expand and grow. You're not ready for me.
Mhm. And the opposite, like what's one thing that would definitely attract you to someone? Like you would say, okay, I resonate with this person.
Their heart. When I see someone supporting someone else, when I see someone that sees the good in others when other people may not be able to, that's integrity. When you can have when you can have the strength to stand up for somebody else when everybody else is putting that person down, that shows me your heart. When you can support somebody else, and doesn't matter if you feel like you're going to be judged by those people as well, you're okay in my book.
I know that. There is one question I received when
Hmm.
we were asking for question. What did little Janelle want to be when she grew up? And did she ever come close to achieving that childhood dream?
Yeah. Well, I had to think about it because little Janelle wanted to be a veterinarian. Little Janelle wanted to be, she was, she wanted to be a teacher and a healer and all of these different aspects. And although I'm not a veterinarian, which I could not be because I would have the hardest time euthanizing an animal. I mean, but because of my gift stepping in so young, um, I am still able to be a veterinarian in an energetic sense. So without the doctorate per se as a vet, I can still work with animals in the healing aspect. And and I wanted to be a healer. I asked for it, you know. I manifested it accidentally on purpose, but I wanted to be a teacher. Say yes.
That's perfect. And like since we asked this question, I have another one that resembles it. Like, give me like two things that are on your bucket list.
My bucket list.
Mhm.
I'm done. I don't have anything else. I'm
Okay,
ready. I'm ready.
what was on your bucket list?
I wanted to be a grandmother. I wanted to be a grandmother.
Oh,
And I got twins. So I'm done. I'm good. My list is complete.
wow, I love that.
I can die happy.
I love that. I love that. I know you're writing a book,
Yes, ma'am.
and if I like, who is one person who is still alive in on this planet? If you feel like name one person you would feel super happy, super excited if you see this person. It can be a celebrity, a person you know, a person you never met, a person you would feel super happy if you see this person writing a review of your book.
Other than you?
Yeah,
Uh, uh, jeez. Someone that's alive, huh?
yeah.
I got more friends on the dead side.
Uh, my next question is on the dead side.
I see. Um, Writing a review for my book. Tracy Reed
Why?
from Hay House.
Mhm.
Because Tracy took on the responsibility after Louise for running Hay House. And so he encompasses the mission and the morals of supporting that spiritual growth and enlightenment. And this book, there's so many books out there in regards to um, getting to know what your path is, you know, um, that if you think about what he would have to say after having many books as Hay House has to offer, as many instructors and courses and stuff like that. So I think that would mean a lot to me because there is that part of me that says, there's so many books on this subject. What am I doing? You know? But at the same time, there's this inner drive, and you have to get this out, you know?
Mhm.
So I think Tracy Reed.
I love that. And my next question, like on the other side, who would you like? Who would you love to have read your book? Like, I wish this person was still there to read my book. Who would that person be?
Well, that's not really a fair question because they're all stepping in and supporting me as I write it, you know. But I think the finished product, it would mean a lot for me for my auntie Darling, you know, because she's an author. Well, my mom's an author too. Sorry, ma. Uh, but my, she's gonna pay me back. Watch, the fire alarm's gonna go off or something ridiculous. You guys. Um, Mom, you're a poet. Okay. So my mother was wrote poetry. My Auntie Prisca's a poet too, you know, but okay, so it would definitely be my Auntie Darling. Authors run in the family. I never thought that I would write a book. A lot of people have told me to write a book. Um, I wrote for myself, you know, but um, Auntie was in the who's who of authors. She knows her stuff, you know. And if I could have anybody from the other side edit my work, it would be Auntie Darling, automatic. I have all of my writing material, all of my uh, writing 101 books type of thing, you know, how to become an author, all of that. I have that all. It was all from Auntie Darling. So yeah, definitely Auntie Darling.
Do you have anything available with you around you now that you can read to us from your writing?
You are funny. Well, you've been helping edit. Why don't you choose something?
I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. You know that our show, both of us, we go with the flow.
You
So
do
I
go.
wasn't prepared for that, but it's your thing, so maybe you can.
Let's ask the audience. Would you rather hear a channeled aspect of the book or part of a chapter? So put it in the comments if you guys are interested in. Um, and let me just say, my guides, they tend to speak a lot more eloquently than I do. But the stories, I don't know. How do you feel, Nikki?
I mean, I am reading. I'm reading as you're writing, Neil, and I have never read anything like that. I have really, honestly, never read anything like that. And I see Andrea wrote the channeled message, and Kate is reading the channel. I agree with you. The channeled messages that Neil are writing are extraordinary, that are coming through Neil. But you know what? The stories she's writing are also amazing. I never read stories the way she writes. So,
Okay. How about the library? Since we already spoke about the library,
yes,
or
yes,
or
please.
or what about the last one that I wrote?
Nappy?
Yeah,
Go for Nappy.
go for nappy.
Go for Nappy.
Okay, so this one is I have to pull it up. Okay, you keep talking. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So, uh, I know that, uh, I mean, I I know that this book will be a bestseller. I promise you that. And like I said, it's when I read it, with every line, every sentence I read, I have goosebumps. And now you will listen to Neil reading a paragraph of it, and you will understand what I mean. And I, I mean, I don't know how to explain the feeling I get when I open the document and I see every little change, every little word that she adds to it. I maybe it's I would say it's ruining the surprise of having the final book, but it doesn't, because every time I open it, I have the same energy coming through me. So it's not like, okay, it gets boring at a certain point. No, if I can read it every day and every day I get the same emotions.
Okay, I do have it pulled up. Um, I have yet to read it out loud myself on this chapter, but this was a pretty intense chapter. Um, okay, let me know if you want me to stop reading at any point. It's only a couple pages long. Okay, so this part of the book, this is in regards to knowing you know. Again, this book is all about how our life brought us to certain points in our journey and that we thought was just life happening, but was actually our soul preparing us for more, to embrace our now. Okay, so this section of the book is called Mommy, I Don't Want Nappy to Die. Okay, Nappy, what's wrong? Something is wrong. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it. You didn't eat your dog food today either. Do you want me to hold up your ears so that you don't get them dirty again? Mommy says that you basset hounds are so ugly that you're cute. The only ugly I can see is when your ears get all yucky when hanging down into your food. That's why I hold them up, so mommy can only see what how cute you are. Come on, I will get you food and hold them up. Nappy. Okay, I will eat for you. But we need to talk about something later. Me. Tell me now. Nappy. Let's go eat first. As I am sitting on the floor in the hallway after giving him a meal, my beautiful tri-colored, floppy-eared, saggy-faced, brown-eyed basset hound comes face to face with me, nudging me with his nose to assure me that we are making eye contact. He begins, "You know that I love you, right?" My tiny young child's heart sank. It wasn't what he said. It was the energy in which he said it. It was heartbreaking. My tears began to well up in my throat. My eyes sagged with heaviness, more than any Bassett's eyes could ever dare imagine. I searched his eyes to find something that resembled the joy of love, but only saw depth and seriousness. I turned my face away, not wanting him to see my pain, because his words did not match my emotion. I was confused and just wanted to run away and hide. Yet I stayed. I swallowed my tears and looked once again into his deep brown eyes. I wanted to say, "Yes, of course I love you. I know you love me. We are buddies. You're my bestest friend in the whole wide world. I love you too." But there were no words, no joy, no excitement to express, just the feeling of overwhelming emptiness that I had never felt before and I was unable to understand. So much emptiness that I had no energy to run away, even if I attempted to. Knowing that he had my full attention, he continued by repeating himself. "You know that I love you, right?" All I could do was nod my little head up and down, still totally focused on his eyes. I did not want him to continue. I did not want to hear the words that would follow, but I was frozen in place, only capable of staring into his eyes. Nappy. You know that you are correct in what you are feeling. I want you to remember to always trust your feelings no matter what. I know also that you don't want me to say what I'm going to tell you, but somewhere deep inside you, you already know what it is that I have to say. Me. You're going to leave me, I shout as I break my silence. Nappy. No, I will never leave you. I will be with you always, only not in the way that you are used to me being with you. Dig deeper, Janelle. You know what I'm informing you of. I have to let you be in this awareness because you feel and sense more than others, and you are meant to understand what it is you are feeling. Me. No, I don't want to. I don't like this. I turn away again. Nappy. Janelle, look at me. You know that you know. Filled now with the adrenaline of fear, fight or flight mode kicks in, and I immediately get up and run crying to my mother, shouting, "Mommy, I don't want Nappy to die." She tries to calm me down, but my whole body is trembling in response to the fact that I know what I know is true. Nappy had followed me and was standing in front of us, wagging his tail and looking up at me. Somewhere in the background, I could hear my mother's voice saying, "See, look at him. He's just fine. It's just your imagination." The voice that was front and center, though, was coming from Nappy. He tried to convince me that all of this had a purpose, and that one day I would understand, and that he loved me and would always be with me, etc., etc., etc. I buried my face into my mother's body, crying all the louder, trying desperately to drown both their voices out of my head. One calling me a liar in a mother's consoling tone, and the other saying stuff that I considered to be a nightmare of words. I was unconsolable. My mother could not calm me down or make me believe that I was imagining it all. She sent me to bed, and although Nappy came with me, he was now the silent one as I cried myself to sleep. Not long after this, Napoleon Bonaparte, Nappy for short, began to show symptoms and was diagnosed with distemper. Although I was very young in years, Nappy also spoke to me as if I was wise and a mature adult. Our sacred journey leading up to his transition was filled with even deeper conversations. But that, my friends, is another story in and of itself. What I will share, however, is that Nappy was the one who participated in many of my firsts when it came to my experiences with my spiritual gifts. From precognition, telepathy, animal communication, to hearing, smelling, seeing, and feeling spirit, Nappy was right there. So, yes, he kept his word to be with me always. He came to me in spirit in the evening of the day he transitioned and continues to be one of my guides as I write this now. I find it very intriguing how those we love the most can teach us the hardest, most painful, and yet most valuable lessons for our journey.
Wow.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you
I'll
so
stop
much.
for that one.
I really love that. Do you see what I'm talking about? Yeah, and that's just one little part of the book. How old were you, Neil,
Bye.
when this happened?
Bye.
You were 5, and you still remember all the details.
Oh, very vividly.
And just, I know the answer to this question, but for the people listening to us, the stories you are telling in your book are all true stories, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. They are, it's a combination, like I said, channeled message and then life experience that supports that channeled message.
Wow.
Rachel says, I didn't get a reminder.
Um, Shelley, she doesn't have a date yet for when the book will be published, but I think end of the year or early 2023. That's my expectations.
Well, Hay House wants the submission by December, the proposal for the book. So, did you embarrass her yet, Nick? And thank you, Rachel. I'm reading that. Okay,
I
I'm
will,
reading.
I will. Neil,
Okay,
who was the most like inspiring person in your life? Person or like dead or alive? Like who
um,
inspired you most?
Jesus. Jesus went through some crap, you know, and knowing that he was turned away from his own village, oh, that's just the carpenter's son, and but knowing for his own self, his own truth, you know, I mean, this is beside the whole religious aspect of things. Okay, the whole, I'm looking at the man here, just the man walking the earth and knowing that he had a bigger purpose, and people that have known him all his life shunned him, made fun of him. I mean, because of the way I felt growing up, this was a big part of me. And so when I hear people say, you know, stuff about other people and they come to me with this, it's like my thought in there is keep shining, keep shining. Why? You're in good company, you know? And I think because um he's so well known in the world. It doesn't matter what faith you have, you know who it is.
Yeah.
And to go from his own community, his own the people in his own personal circle saying, you're just a carpenter's son, you're crazy, you know, but still walking in that truth and his divine connection, that inspires me. It's like, yeah, you want to persecute me, go for it. I'm in good company. It's all good. Um, and I think I have to throw out there Cahill Gibran, and I'm not pronouncing it correctly because he's from Lebanon, right? I mean, he's a Lebanese poet.
Yes.
He's,
We say the name Khalil Gibran.
yeah,
Khalil Gibran.
Hayil.
Khalil Gibran.
I'm gonna screw up, but because I started writing from my first book report was on the prophet Cahill Gibran, and his art. Oh my God, I felt so much from his art, and um, and then it comes full circle. You know what what pushed me to say yes, okay, I can get this book published was because going back to the experience of being that third, fourth grader, turning in my report, having sketched out this beautiful picture for the book, and then the teacher saying, "Oh, you got an A plus," totally surprised that I'm doing a book report on the prophet, and then telling me that my work can't be displayed. That was powerful. What if he was censored? What if his work was never put on a shelf and never found its way to my family library?
Yeah.
Okay, so because these words are flowing through, I have a responsibility to put it out there for generations to come.
Yeah.
So I would say those would be one, but
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm thinking about something.
uh-oh.
What was the happiest day of your years?
Of my what years?
First 50 years of your life?
What just brought my heart a smile? And I know that I should be saying the birth of my son, but I think the first memory was when my sister gave me her baby when I was 10 years old,
Oh, yeah.
because he had just gotten home from the hospital. He was just newborn. And I went in the room because I heard him crying. And she said, what the thing about it is my sister, she had issues and she had challenges, and she was, um, I saw her as a child really seeking love. and she self-medicated, you know. Anyway, the baby was under the crib crying. This is a newborn. Baby didn't crawl out of the crib. Okay. And he was under the crib up against the wall. And I knew how he got there. And all she was saying was, get him out of here. I don't want him. She was a child herself. She was a child herself. Okay.
You were too, right? At 10.
I was never a child. Okay. I was physically small, but I was never a child. But is when she said, get him out of here. I don't want him. You can have him. And I said, I'll take him. But once you give him to me, he's mine. And when I picked up that baby, I felt like I had a purpose.
I have goosebumps.
And his name is Perrin, which means beloved. So, um, and then the next year she had another one. So again, 11, I had two babies. So,
At 11, you raised two babies.
and then at 14, I was on my own with the two babies. So I was never a child. And before that, I was taking care of my mother. So, yeah, no regrets.
I wanted this aspect of you to be mentioned to in a certain way. So,
Yeah.
like raising a child at
Yeah.
the
You know, what's funny is I wanted to still participate in, elementary school, cheerleading, So I was the only one with a stroller going because I had to run home because my mother would work nights and she would babysit the kids while I was in school. But then right after school, I would have to run home, pack them into the stroller and take them back to school if I wanted to do anything. And people always thought, oh, that's your baby brother or sister. But no, these were mine. So
and
mm, do what you
so
got to do.
you moved out with two babies at 14.
Yeah.
How did you manage, like financially?
I begged. I no. I what I did was I went into Baskin and Robbins was my very first job. I was underage, and I begged the manager, and I said, "Look, I've got these two guys right here. You know, I've got Perrin and JJ, and I need to support them. I could not go to the system. If I went to the system, we would all be separated, and I wasn't going to have that. You know, um, I wasn't going to have anybody separate, and so I pleaded my case, and he hired me. And a friend of mine uh, trusted me and signed, and it was hard. And I went without, and I didn't eat very much, but my babies were taken care of. You know. And eventually, that one job turned into three jobs, and then I found that paying for babysitters and rent and everything else, there's still nothing left, you know. But they were taken care of. You do what you got to do. You
What about the next, like after your 50th birthday? What's the happiest day of your life?
know? Well, you got to add my son in there too. Yeah.
Of course, of course.
That was before 50. Oh God, I don't know that there's a happiest.
Maybe the day you met me, who knows, you know. So,
No one was a.
you see, Rachel, I embarrassed her. Okay.
Let's see. You know what's hard about this question? Okay, and yes, having you step into my life, it's a happy day. It's a happy life. You know, so I can't really put that in one day. Um, I would say the happiest. I'm gonna go with, and this is might not be the happiest for everyone else, but I would say when I became a Sacred Hearts of Jesus and Mary secular branch member, because Jesus has been my. It's like being a nun, but I can be married of teaching God's love, and so, and that adoration for Jesus. Um, I think because he's been my sidekick all my life. I've met him on the other side, and then being on the earth realm, I never felt like I could honor his love for me as much as it deserved. And there would be nights where I would just sit at the foot of the cross and I would cry because I felt like there was more that I needed to give. And I would sit there with all the church lights off and just have the one light shining up at the cross, and I would sing the song, "Here I Am, Lord," and um, waiting. Okay, this is what will honor me, you know. And so when I took my vows, I think that was spiritually very, very humbling and very um, fulfilling.
I love that. Nice. Very nice. If you could have one ability that you don't have, because you have plenty of
Hmm.
abilities, what would that be and why?
I don't know. I got a lot. I don't think I want any more. It's, the ones I have, they keep me pretty busy. Uh, I think the only thing that's missing for me in my life right now would be to transition. I'm content, as far as expanding any of my abilities. What comes comes, what goes goes. They're there when they're needed. They're not when they're not.
Mhm.
Um, I don't limit what gifts will come in. So it's not that I want for anything when it comes to my gifts. I accept them as they come through when they're needed. Although I would like to know more clarity on things sometimes,
You'll know when you need to know.
and that's what we get. You exactly. This is what I because they what I always get is you already know, and you'll know when you need to know, and I need to.
To
I'm
know.
working. Yeah, I'd like to know a little more. But I think if I was to stand in the awareness of every single download that they have downloaded me with, I would explode. So they have to keep things in files for me.
Yeah.
I would explode. It's crazy. Um, but I think the only thing I yearn for is going home. You know, I think that's my
I'm
biggest.
not ready to let you go there yet. Not yet.
When you'll know when you need to know.
Neil, I personally have experienced, and many times, not only once, but the strength of the healing that you channel and the power of the healing that comes through you. It's amazing. Can you give us an experience? Like, tell us about an experience of a healing that happened that is okay to share, because some have, I understand the privacy.
Yeah, I wouldn't mention anybody's name. That's
Exactly.
totally
I know.
unethical.
And I know. And this is why I'm saying, but I would like you to tell us a story, something you can tell, you feel comfortable telling, because I have experienced something like this morning. I called you Mrs. Magic because, like, it's amazing what you can do. And I, I mean,
Um,
I don't want to tell
it's
my
not me.
experience because
It's not me.
it's
It's
not you. It's not you.
divine that works through
Yes.
through me. I'm simply. It's like with my artwork. I'm just the pencil. So I'm just the channel. And there have been situations where a mother has called me for their child, and their child is, you know, not going to make it. And there is the choice that this child might have, and I respect that. My if I'm gonna have to choose to respect a living person's choice and someone who's transitioning's choice, or someone who has transitioned, I'm choosing the transitioned one. This is just this because I've worked. This is my main mission here. Okay, so if you're looking at someone who is reaching out to you, and that this is a child of theirs, and this child is on their deathbed, I have to respect that child's choice. Okay, because that physically they are a child, spiritually they are an evolving soul, right? But if they want to stay, that's when I step in. If they want to transition, that's what I step in for. Okay, so I will help with that transition aspect as well, respecting the parent. But
Mhm.
having said that, so there's a child that is ill, deathly ill. Doctors can't figure it out. I call in the divine support, and the child is healed and goes home like the next day. You know? One thing that I tend to forget to tell people is I have hot hands. So if I'm doing a healing session, because the energy that's coming through, they might feel heat on a healing area. This is different from the chakra alignments and stuff, but this is healing sessions. So they might feel heat, and I tend to forget that when I'm telling people. And so there was an individual that had um, a suspected cancerous tumor in their breast area, and it was shown on ultrasound and the whole mammogram and all that stuff. So the doctors were going to have to do a biopsy. So this person asked for a healing session, and I forgot. about the hot hands. And so then they kind of like didn't know what was going on. And so they were surprised to feel the heat, didn't understand. There was other people involved in how this transmuted because this was distance. You know, you don't have to be physically present for energy healing. And anyway, she experienced some heat in that area. She had the follow up for the biopsy, but when they went to go do the biopsy, they couldn't find it. You know, but again, it's not about me. I'm It's not about me. You know, um, especially when I am working with when I'm working with someone that more people are going to be involved in. It's okay. Like my prayer, and some of you may have seen this in comments of mine. My prayer when it comes to healing, especially like surgeries and stuff like this, it's for the divine to make the surgeon and the medical staff's hearts and hands instruments of his healing mercy. Because it's all about the intention and bringing that forth is allowing the divine to work through these people that the divine has given these gifts and wisdom and talents to, and then I'm supporting. I'm allowing myself to be that extra channel of energy. So when there are people that other people are involved in the results of a healing, that's when I step in and I say, God, you know what? Let this experience be a witness. Make it a witness to your mercy, to your healing, to your infinite abilities of possibilities, you know? And this is the conversation that I'm having while I'm doing a healing session, is that this creates something that people acknowledge who it's really from. It's not about me. So anyway.
I love that. Let's get back to your website. Your website. First of all, I will share with everyone your link tree because your link tree has all your links, all your groups, your Facebook page, and your website. And can you talk to us about your website that you have completed and launched today?
It is official.
Yes.
Okay. So I I did register my website name. So it is now officially JANEEL HEW Molokai Mystic.com. And the website tells my story. It tells reviews. So there's people that I've had the honor to serve, and they put reviews. It has some of my channeled messages, and you can find my services, my uh, readings, healings, classes. Um, and there's it's capable of expanding, possibly going into like a community chat area and blogging and so on and so forth. But I really want to concentrate and get my book finished first and then expand on that after.
And can you tell us about what are your offerings in the moment, please? Like what I know we have a
Yes.
class. We have a
Yes.
class now going on. Can you tell us about it?
We have a monthly Archangel class, and it's about having an experience and bonding with the different archangels. This one that's currently coming up, August 20th, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., is called The Illumination Process of the Moon with Archangel Haniel. And that one's going to be interesting because it's really going to connect the flow of being able to walk on this earth with the connection of the divine, you know? And this is a challenge for a lot of us because I know I prefer to have 2 feet on the other side most of the time. But, and then some of the other offerings that I have are uh, some of you guys have had these sessions. So there is the focused inner healing session that we offer. It's a very interactive session. There's the silly rainbow uh, angel reading, which consists of both you and I, and then there are the oracle card spreads that I offer for readings, and then there are the chakra alignments that come with a 7 card spread to support you staying in alignment, and then of course the distance healing sessions, and then once somebody really starts getting into their sessions with me, that's when I branch off into mentoring,
Okay.
you know, if that is something that they're interested in seeking. And I'll know this when we start doing sessions.
Okay. And do you have any specials going on? Or
Uh, do I have any specials going on? No, but I will be. I will be.
that's good.
Um, yeah. Towards the end of the year, I uh, usually do something. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. I'll know when they tell me.
You asked me if you will need cards for today, and I said no. And I don't want cards for today, but I have one thing in mind for someone in the audience.
Hmm.
Do you have a pen and the paper next to you, around you somewhere? I would ask you, please, to like write a number between 1 and 20, any number, and don't show us. And I will ask the
20. So you're
1,
not going to go to 69, right?
no, 1 and 20. And I will ask people in the comment section to just choose a number between 1 and 20.
1 and 20.
Because I looked at how many people are watching. So that
Ah, that's all. Okay.
so people write in the comment the number you choose, and we'll see who will get messages from Neil. And it won't be a card, it will be a spontaneous message, inspired message.
Oh, thank you, Janet.
Yes, she is priceless, Janet. Yes. Oh, some people really know you.
Oh, you already know what number I picked.
Yeah, of course I know.
Get out of my head.
I'm psychic. So, while waiting for people to put their numbers, do you have a message you would like to share? Something, a message like, you're here with a loving community, people who follow you because they love you, people who are always here because they love to listen to you and they love to know what you have to say. So, is there something you like to tell them?
Thank you. Thank you. And I love you all. And I would not be doing this without the support of everyone here. You are just as important as I am. as Nick is, as anybody else is. Remember the divine light that you truly are. Oh, Brandy.
So, can you show us your number?
Oh, you say what number I have.
8. I can't.
You can't see it?
Oh,
Say
yeah.
it again.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's
The
see.
first one that has an 8.
First one that has an 8 is Kate Katrina.
Oh, Kate. Okay. So let's see what is going on with Kate. Okay, I feel like you are wondering right now what is your next step on life. You're wanting to really move forward, but at the same time, there's this little belief that's over here that's holding you back. Go ahead and release that. That's not even relevant anymore. You know in your heart that things are moving and shifting, and you're ready to step into it spiritually, but you're physically giving yourself hesitation on things right now. There's also some stuff going on in your environment that you're saying, okay, I need healthy boundaries right now. I need healthy boundaries. So, again, it's checking in with your spiritual side. Right now, it's, that old saying, spiritually strong, physically weak. Look at your spiritual self, see how strong that is, and bring that infinite light into your physical being. And this is going to not only allow you to step into everything that you're wanting to step into, um, but it's also going to give you the strength to step away from situations that it's not really like uh, dangerous or draining in a way that is like argumentative, but just in a way that makes you feel like, you know what, I'm not really resonating in this space anymore. It's okay to step away from that. If it's not resonating with you, it's okay to step away from that. And then your heart's going, yeah, but I really like this person and these people, and I feel like this is like a group that you're ready to step away from. But it's not that you dislike them, it's just that you're outgrowing them, you know? I've been in it for 20 years. Look, took a step back 3 years ago. When you're ready to step up now, is what I'm getting at. This is this is this is more about taking those stone steps. You've collected all the pebbles in your road. Now it's time to build that step, build that bridge, cross over to that next phase of your life now. So allowing yourself to realize, yes, I love this over here, but I'm really feeling like I'm expanding. I'm It's not really resonating with me. I'm not getting as much as I used to get from this aspect in my world. So allowing yourself to, I think it's just like a group of people, maybe a Facebook group. I'm not sure. I'm not telling you to leave anybody's Facebook group. Don't do that. Okay, that's your choice. But what I am saying is allowing yourself to see the bigger you, the more potential into this area, with the idea of, it's not that I don't like, it's that I'm growing, I'm expanding, I'm loving me more. And you don't need to dance in all of the energies all of the time just because you love people. It's like I say about family, I'm on a rock in the middle of the ocean, you know. I can love my family doesn't mean I can live with them under the same roof. You know, this has stopped 3 years ago now. Ah, so allowing yourself to really expand. Now you are at a place where you're at a place where you know your boundaries. You know your boundaries, and when you're setting these boundaries, you're setting them in a positive, not in a resentfulness. You see what the difference between when you're setting a boundary for someone that is, or something, um, with resentment. When you set a boundary with resentment towards the heartache or whatever, the frustration from this, then you're putting out a false boundary because you're actually still connected energetically. So when you can release it with a positive, then that tie falls away with grace and ease. So stepping into your empowerment, is what you're being called to do. Totally, always with love. Yes, absolutely, with love. But there's more to you than you actually letting yourself see. So take out that, uh, what's that thing called? I don't want to say microscope. It's not a microscope. Telescope. Take out the telescope and look into the stars, and you find the biggest, brightest star out there, and then you energetically connect with that because you are ready to dance in the infinite more. So keep shining.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You have like four others who chose number 8, but Kate was the first one. It's like we know you.
Well, see, people always think when I choose 69 that it has other insinuations, but I like 69 because it reminds me of the yin and yang. And if you guys look at my page, it has the yin and yang on there. So I like that shape. So
Uh, Andrea, can you please, if you're still listening, get the link for the course? So, just a reminder to everyone listening to us that our next course is on August 20. It's a Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So, if you like Neil and this interview, join the course because it will be so much fun. I think like we can never have enough of you, Neil. This show is normally 1 hour, and we've been going on for over an hour and a half because we can talk to you for hours and hours, and it's so interesting. So,
thank you.
anything you would like to add before we can close?
I just want to say, give Nick a big hand. Beautiful. I mean, I really I enjoyed the questions.
Thank you.
I enjoyed answering the questions, and I enjoyed sharing. Um, I I felt like I was putting everybody to sleep with the reading of my book, but enjoyed that aspect of it. And it's not just about join the group. I join the class because of me. You know, um, join the class because of all of us. You know, join the class because of all of us. Because you know what I say, guys. What do I say, Nick?
We shine brighter.
Together.
And yes, Echo, this will have a replay as soon as we finish. You can watch it on both our page, on Nick's page, on With My Angel, and on Neil's page.
And guys, go check out my website. Give me
Yes,
some feedback on what you think about my new website. That'll be.
and subscribe to her LINKTREE.
Oh yeah, you can subscribe to it.
Yes, I added the link in the comment section. I can add it again. There it is. Wait a second. Oops, no. There it is again.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for being the host
And
and doing. Ah,
I can't join hands today. One
well,
hand. Bye, everyone.
you're the host. You got to end the